Albert AWOL, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. This episode of Welcome Home is brought to you by DVC Rental Store. Thank you for joining us on episode 294 of Welcome Home, a Disney Parks and Vacation Club podcast. I'm Tom. I'm here with Trevor and Damon. We're getting real close, Damon. I know you're counting down the episodes to the 300.
Maybe. Am I?
You have been. Every time you've been on the show.
I have been, but now that it's getting closer, I'm like, all right, what am I wearing? I got to drive Blake, I guess. Or Blake driving me. First of all, it's funny. I don't love driving, but I also don't want to be at anyone else's.
You don't want to be a passenger. Yeah.
No, I definitely don't. So the question is does this place have parking, Tom?
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Okay. So that's good then.
So, yeah. So for those that are interested or that are close into the, in the area that want to join us for the 300th episode, we are going to be doing it on March 29th. And it's looking like it's going to be noon to 3 at this point. We'll talk about the location later. We're still working on confirmation, but it's going to be fun. We're going to have giveaways. We'll have food, and everyone likes free food, right?
I can tell you it's not going to be at Optimus, and I was a little disappointed with Optimus, but I just don't think they could provide the hosting we needed.
Yeah, that's fair.
There was some discussion. It wasn't like they were just like, no. They're like, can we do this? They probably were like, no, we can't.
But the place we're probably going to have it at is we'll have a private room, and we'll do a show live.
We'll be close to Optimus, right?
Yeah, not too far. So we'll have like I said, we'll have food, we'll have we'll have pins, we'll have hats, we'll have all sorts of fun stuff. And if you want to bring your kids, bring your come as a couple, whatever, all are welcome, I would say. So
all right,
yeah. Should be fun. Although, funny enough, my wife and child will not be there. So, we scheduled this, and then I said something to she's like, wait, when are you doing this again? And I told her, and she goes, I just booked a flight to go home for that weekend, for my mom's birthday. I'm like, no, that stinks, but it is what it is. I mean, what are you going to do? That's when the 300th episode is. So,
yeah, unfortunately, right?
Yeah, it is what it is.
There's no perfect time to do it, is the reality.
No.
Like we all try our best to make it work.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And obviously, unfortunately, Trevor's not going to be there, but I mean, we're not going to make Trevor fly 12 hours round trip for a 3-hour for a 3-hour event.
Meet.
So,
yeah.
Wait, so the question is, when is the three of us get together? What episode is that?
I don't know. But I mean, it's been a long time now. We haven't.
I feel like it's got to be at Disney, though.
It's going to be at Disney, yeah.
I was going to say, Damon, I don't think you were here when we talked about, but there is a bit of overlap when Tom is coming back from his cruise and when I arrive in Disney
this summer.
In May.
Yeah.
So we were actually planning to get together to play mini golf. So I don't know if you could.
May is not really it. My daughter still be playing lacrosse and tennis, and
fair enough.
We have 3 trips already planned this summer, so yeah, that would be tough. 350th. I mean, what's that? We do less than 50 a year, so not this summer, next summer.
Maybe. Oh, yeah.
Obviously, meet Trevor in Disneyland.
That's actually not a bad idea because he's going to Disneyland. So
yeah, we're going We're planning to go in the fall, assuming that
I'm going
a ways out. So
July 26th.
No, you actually have a plan? You have this plan now?
Okay. Yeah. We have the week we're going.
That's next year, though, not this year.
26, yeah. So this year is the cruise and Universal and Dollywood, and then the year after is the Wally World National Lampoon vacation trip.
Wait, are you driving cross country?
Yes.
He's doing
it. Wow, you're doing the whole thing.
Grand Canyon, Petrified Forest, Disneyland.
Wow.
We are recreating National Lampoon's vacation.
Wow. Okay. Hopefully, I mean, the good news is it won't be closed when you get there.
Hopefully.
I mean, it originally was supposed to be Disneyland, and they said no because Disneyland is never closed. So, yeah. Although, early in Disneyland, they did operate only seasonally. I don't know if everybody realized that, but early on they did. But anyway, So, so I mean, I want to plan a trip to Disneyland as well. And actually, maybe we can coordinate this, Damon, because we've been talking about doing it for a while now, and I think my daughter's getting to the age where we can
June 2026, man, we can make it happen.
We can make it happen. Yeah, that sounds good.
Trevor, that's an easier flight at least for you.
It
right?
is. Yeah, and I mean, I'll be honest. I normally wouldn't go in June, but it's definitely a lot easier to plan. Heading out there for a couple of days in June.
Well, you don't have to deal with school with your kid anymore, right? Because your son's not going to come anyway. So,
well, yeah, I mean, yeah. The nice thing is, he's at that point where we don't have to. He'll actually in Canada he'll be an adult at that point because 18 is the legal age for being an adult. So by then, we could leave him home, and as long as he doesn't burn the house down, then everything's fine.
That's always a concern.
No, he's a good kid. He would never do that.
My mom would always be like, when they went away, she goes, listen, she's like, I grew up in this neighborhood. I know everyone that lives here. She goes, they will call me if anything's going on.
You do something, we'll find out.
Yeah. She's like, you're not going to get away with anything. They'll call me immediately. And I'm like, all right, well, it's got to be harder to do that nowadays with, like video doorbells and, cameras everywhere. Like it's probably a lot harder to pull that off.
My son said that he's like, I can't get away with anything anyway because you have cameras on the house.
Yeah,
and, it's not like I can sneak out. And it's like, yeah, that's true.
Disable the camera,
yeah. It requires a certain level of IT knowledge. That,
the internet went out, Dad. I don't know what to tell you. The internet went out. So, anyway, all right, yeah. So listen, if you can join us for our event on the 29th, we'd love to have you there. Like I said, it should be a good time. We're gonna have food. We'll do a live show. We're going to have anybody anybody who's in the room who wants to be on the show can be on the show. We'll definitely have this as a more interactive experience. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm sad you can't come, Trevor. I mean, you could come. It's just too much.
Yeah, we tried to figure out the logistics, and unfortunately, it just doesn't.
You gotta.
I'm too far away. Is the problem.
Yeah,
and you got to come with a better episode write-up than this, though, Tom. This is not going to cut it for the 300th episode.
Oh, I kind of anticipate that we're not even going to have a rundown. Yeah,
no news.
I mean, we if there's any big news, we can cover it. But I feel like it's going to be more about chatting with people, and we'll talk some news. Yeah, we'll see. We have to see what happens. I mean, we're still 6 weeks away, so once we get there,
might give away free DVC points. That's what I heard.
You're gonna wait. You said me? No.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Now with your new contract, you're just gonna loan out points.
Both of my
please don't. Okay, nobody take anything Damon's saying right now.
This is not true. Yeah. I'm gonna edit all this out. No, I did. So I did close on both my sale and my purchase. Although it takes 30 days for them to actually change anything on the website. Or actually change points. So my old contract, even though it's closed and I have the money, is still on my dashboard, which is funny, but because I was like, what if I tried to book a vacation with those points? What would happen?
There is something in the
it's in the contract, right?
Yeah, there's something in the contract that if you do that, you can actually cause yourself a whole bunch of issues to the point where I think you could actually lose the sale of your contract.
And listen, I wouldn't do that. I'm just saying it's interesting to me that it's just there, So I don't know. Anyway,
I would not play with that.
No, I'm not going to. Trust me. I made that mistake once when I bought my first house. I got a credit card a week before buying the house, and that was not good. So anyway, let's get into it. And by the way, also too, if you do want to come to our 300th episode meetup, we are going to have an Evite kind of situation set up because we do need a count of how many people are going to be there. So we'll send that out once that's established and once we have the location confirmed. So just keep an eye out for that on our social media, and we'll put that out there in case anybody wants to join. I'll put once we have the link to, I'll just put it in the episode link, the episode notes up until we get to the event. That way you can really easily click on it and register if you want to come. So,
and the North Carolina Disney Facebook group, they are going to be coming as well. So it should be a fair amount of people. So you may actually need to Evite.
Do RSVP.
Because we can sell out of this event. That is the thing. We're not charging for it, but when I mean sell out, we do have there's a capacity number. So if we get to that number, we will have to shut it down.
Yeah. It's about fire safety. They don't want to have like hundreds of people in a enclosed space.
Yes, but the space we have is going to be nice. There's an indoor-outdoor area. It's a really cool place. So as soon as we get that confirmed, we'll talk about it more. But anyway, so let's talk about some interesting things here. So. For those that use the lounge at Epcot, the DVC lounge, like usually they close pretty early in the evening, right? So like usually
like 6 o'clock or something.
Yeah, they close at 6. Yeah. So now though they're doing with the paid membership Magic Beyond membership, a benefit that they're doing with this is they're opening up the lounge to those members of the Perks program after 6 p.m. from 6 to 9. So the lounge is only open at that point for participants in the program, and they're also doing that's crazy.
That's just crazy.
I mean, I figured that would be a thing that you'd be all about, Damon.
I am, but that's just crazy. I mean, it would make me like it. Well, I mean, it wouldn't even make me. It would force me then to do this,
to sign up for it.
Like this is something that would force me to do it for sure.
Well, and they're doing an exclusive character meet.
I'm done with that part of my family career for the time being until I have grandkids. I don't care about that. But
that's fair. But listen, the benefits of getting to be there at night. I mean, even just the picture on DVC News that I'm looking at of Spaceship Earth lit up, and you can see it from the lounge. I mean, that's just cool in itself, And then also you got the Zootopia characters are meeting. It looks like it's just Nick, right? It's just Nick Wilds. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't see a picture of Judy Hopps there, just Nick Wilds. So
yeah, but she signed her. So how could she not be there? If it says both
they're gonna,
Nick or Judy may appear.
Okay, so they'll flip back and forth then between Nick and Judy.
Yeah, and I mean,
it says one or both.
Or both. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. But I mean, it also probably won't be limited to them. I'm sure they'll switch it up, to different characters. Why not? Right? Just keep doing different characters. But I mean, this is just another reason to spend that $99 for the membership Magic Beyond.
And is it $99? It's not $99 per person, right? It's $99 per
membership.
No, it's per member. It's per member.
Well,
so yeah,
but per member though gets like it's people on your membership. So like you can still get in. Like, was it up to like? Why do I think the number 6 people, 5 or 6 people with a membership? Right. Yeah. So it's like. Right. So yeah, like you don't have to buy it. Like if you have multiple DVC members in your house, you don't have to buy it per each person's membership.
Just one person.
You just need it for one. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny. My wife occasionally asks me what we're going to talk about on the show, and I told her about this, and she's like, "Wait, how much does that cost again?" And I was like, "It's $99 for the year," and it's basically. I've been saying this entire time, the fact that Memory Maker is included with it, you're basically buying Memory Maker and you get a bunch of extra benefits on top of it, right? Like that's the way I look at it because it's a really good value. I feel like they could have charged more.
DVC again
because they won't let you do it.
This is where I knew this was going to go. Is that it was going to hit a point where it's like I really wish I could get that.
Yeah,
and it sucks that it's only available to people in the United States because, come on, there shouldn't be any reason why I shouldn't be able to pay you more money.
I agree with you. I know, Trevor. It's really frustrating. I know. I'm sure for you. And
I would use this. I would absolutely use this. I'm
100%.
Same with Damon. As it's like I would go out of my way to be like, how can I be in Epcot at night just to hang out in the lounge?
Yeah, exactly.
Also something to point out. They say it's from 6 to 9 p.m. So I'm betting it's a hard close at 9 p.m. Meaning that there's no way that you're going to be watching the fireworks from the lounge.
That's true.
I don't think they don't want to promote it as
like an awesome.
Again, yes, that and
not
I think that's
the thing. But yeah,
but you can't even see that direction though. Anyway,
that's true.
Because
you can
the lounge. You can't. I mean, you'd see them. Explode,
you have all the stuff in your way. Yeah,
you'd see the fireworks, but not anything else or any of the projections or anything. So yeah, but
the new lounge they're building above Test Track. You'll have a great fireworks view, and I'm sure there's going to be lots of fireworks packages for that. But that's not a DVC thing, so yeah. All right, well, yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna make a phone call.
Yeah, keep complaining about it until they let you do it.
Yeah, I mean, and
yeah, you should.
I guess for anybody else who is not eligible for this, you just have to say to Disney, hey, like we have to keep giving them the feedback, or else they won't change it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that's how you get things to happen.
Yeah, it's interesting. As we were just talking here, I was looking through the terms and conditions of this program, and I don't. Maybe I'm just missing it. I don't see anywhere where it says it's limited to the United States only. But I mean, it's probably in there, and I just can't find it.
Yeah, I did read it. There is a part where it says like it has some specific wording around you have to be living in the United States.
Huh. Yeah, that's got to be. I mean, because there's a lot of international DVC members. I mean, I don't know how many, but I assume there's a fair amount. I mean, we've met DVC members like at the parks from England. We've met, from Australia. We've met them from all sorts of different places. And, it's kind of sad that they are not allowing that. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason. I just don't know what it is, I
mean, if they could just do it, like just blue card it, like that's all you have to do is just say blue card only. And
yeah,
be enough. But yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, hopefully, hopefully that changes eventually, and you can eventually buy it. Because, like you said, this is pretty. I like the exclusive. Like first of all, that you get exclusive access. Yeah,
it's not just the lounge, but it's limited access to the lounge, which is even further. Like it feels more VIP, right? And it feels almost like an after hours party thing. Like when everybody else is, walking around the park, you've got somewhere to go where it's like, hey, I can go and, sit and enjoy like Spaceship Earth and all that. And I don't have to, deal with crowds. I assume there would not be a lot of people in there for these after hours things.
I would assume so too. I don't know I don't think Disney or DVC has said anything about how many members have signed up for this program, but I'm sure it's decently popular. I would think it would be, but to your point, I don't think that it would be overly crowded in the lounge from 6 to 9. It doesn't feel like that would be an issue. And especially with the meet and greet, that makes it great too, because you don't have to wait forever. Like we tried to do the Figment meet and greet last time, and I think we waited for like 45 minutes, and then we were like 2 people from meeting him, and they were like, oh, Figment needs to take a break, and I'm like, no, we're waiting for 45 minutes. So like, I'm sure you don't have to wait in a line like that. You can really quickly, meet with the character. So yeah,
and yet there's only like 15 people in the lounge. The most you're waiting is,
a couple minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. The other thing I wanted to talk about too is, so Disney or DVC recently announced some new, what do you call them? Incentives, buyer incentives, right?
Yeah.
And they were not super great. So, in fact, I think we talked about it on the show, but like for Polynesian, they were doing like $8 off per point over 100 points.
Yeah, it was not great at all.
It gets all the way up to 15 per point, but you have to buy 1,000 plus points, and that's not going to happen. So, although the cabins are pretty heavily discounted, though. But yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so they're doing another thing now where if you have the Chase Disney Visa, which I do, you actually can get $1,000 off a direct purchase. It's just a fixed amount. As long as you buy 150 points or more, you just get $1,000 off. That's pretty great. Just for having the credit card,
So you just have to have. Okay, yeah, that's not bad for anybody who does have that credit card.
No. And by the way, this is just for the resorts that are actively being sold. So that's Polynesian, Riviera, Cabins, Disneyland Hotel, and of course Alani, because Alani will never sell out.
I mean, that's not a bad selection of places either. Like, if you are on the fence, that extra $1,000 may be enough to push you over if you do have the Chase Visa.
Yeah, $1,000 is not nothing, man. That's a good amount, especially if you're buying 150 points. That's a decent amount of savings, and just for having a credit card that listen, I have the Chase Disney Visa card, and we have we keep forgetting that we have like the rewards dollars, you know, because like you get like basically looks like a credit card, and it has all these reward dollars on it, and they don't expire. And I just kind of keep forgetting that I have, you know, them when we're doing Disney stuff. And so like I think I have like $600 or $700 in Disney money that I can use, you know, not like back in the day when they had the Disney cash, but you know,
that's like a quick trip though. You could, pay for.
Yeah. What was that called when they had the Disney, the
Disney
cash?
bucks?
Disney bucks. Was that it?
Disney dollars.
Disney dollars. That was it.
Yeah.
Disney dollars. Man, they were selling those all the way up until 2016. Wow.
I only remember, I never actually dealt with Disney dollars, but I always have that one episode of The Simpsons stuck in my head where they went to Itchy and Scratchy Land. Yeah. And Homer got convinced to buy the Itchy and Scratchy bucks. And they were like, oh yeah, you know, it's the same, it's money, but it's more fun to use. And then he bought it, he walks in the door and all the places say, no,
don't
Itchy and Scratchy money accepted.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah. Oh my gosh, some of these they go for a lot of money on eBay, man. Okay, anyway, that was a random aside. I don't think I ever had any Disney dollars that I can think of. Maybe I did. I don't know. I don't remember. But what an interesting concept at the time. But
it was, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. So moving on.
We want to talk about Flower and Garden Festival?
Yeah, you're going to be there for a hot second for Flower and Garden.
I guess I am, aren't I? I keep forgetting that. I forget that May is still Flower and Garden Festival.
It is. And, you know, it's funny because we were, you know, our cruise is coming up. And I think I told you guys last week that like our booking window to do like, you know, reserve things on the boat is actually happening tomorrow. So we were talking to all the people. We had a, you know, big conference call with the group, and it turns out my brother-in-law and sister-in-law are going to go down a day early, and they're going to go to Epcot. And I was like, kind of weird that they're going to Epcot because they have a 2.5-year-old and a 4-year-old. Kind of feels like, you know, weird to take them
with Epcot
for that age. I don't know.
Why not?
I would pick Magic Kingdom or Animal Kingdom instead of Epcot for that, but.
There's a lot more to do at Epcot at that age group now, I would say.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're doing it just so they can go to Flower and Garden, though. I feel like they chose that for so they could do Flower and Garden. But yeah, so anyway, you know, of course, there's going to be more topiaries, which I've always found amazing, right? Like they always do these really cool ones, but they're going to do a Maui, Moana, Hey Hey, and a Pua one. So that's going to be pretty cool. Yeah, although they don't have any pictures of that right here, but I do like this Figment photo.
Like, is it a real topiary?
That you're holding? I don't think so.
I can't imagine it's a real topiary.
How awesome would that be, though?
That poor thing would die so quick.
I'm also assuming it's going to move. Like it's going to be one of those ones that like is animated when you go and look at it. You know what I mean?
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, why not? It says 2 new shots, including Figment Topiary Magic Shot. So, I mean, maybe not. Maybe it's just going to be sitting there. It looks like you're probably just holding the pot, and then Figment materializes on there.
Oh, it's just a picture?
Yeah, it's the photo pass. Yeah.
Oh, that's whack. Well, I want that.
They usually have a Figment Topiary somewhere. I mean, it's not
like one I can take home.
Are you thinking they should be selling Figment Topiaries?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That'd be kind of a cool.
I don't disagree with you, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be a nice.
How much would that be?
Chia Pet.
300.
I don't know. I mean, didn't they have a Figment Chia Pet? Disney was selling themed Chia Pets at one point. I don't know. Now I have to look this up.
It's weird that we're talking about Chia Pets. Just pointing that out.
I mean, they have a Mickey Mouse Chia Pet. I can't find a Figment one, but I thought there was one before, but maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, Damon. I think that would be a big seller, right? I mean, but then like somebody would have to like hand make that. Like if that was a real topiary, that would be labor intensive, right? Like that'd have to be pretty expensive, I would think.
Mass produce them, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it would probably be cool. And then we talked about the playground last week, the new playground that they're building. And so they're going to have this new playground, and it's called Play Along Bay. So they're naming it after they're naming it after the Yacht and Beach Club pool, right?
Yeah. Storm Along Bay, but not really.
but not really. Yeah. Yeah. Play Along Bay instead. It's nautically themed though, so that's kind of cool. Random, but cool. I mean, which makes sense, I guess, if you're naming it after Yacht Beach. I mean, yeah, make it nautical, right? I'm going down here because this, man, I want to see somebody walking around with this orange bird shirt and shorts.
Dude, that to me is pajamas.
Would you wear that out and about though?
No, I would not.
I mean,
no.
I would wear this if I was
Pajamas,
stopping
dude.
traffic at a construction site.
I mean, that's literally what it looks like.
I mean, I like them a lot, but that's pajamas, dude.
I agree with you that
orange.
it's pajamas. Yeah, wow. It is very orange. If I'll post a picture of it, but this is like traffic cone orange.
Yeah,
color.
It is.
Yeah. Which, listen, it's the orange bird. I get it. This is typically the orange they use. And of course they have a Spirit jersey. Everyone knows how I feel about the Spirit jersey.
People like their Spirit jerseys. It's
they
fine.
Do. Yeah, it's fine. But this one is for the, the 30th anniversary, right? So it's, yeah. I mean, it's not bad looking. I just don't like the Spirit jersey in general. I do like, though, when you go further down, I'm trying to remember what the
Spike,
the bee's name. Spike, thank you.
Yeah.
Spike the bee. They made a Spike the Bee backpack, a mini backpack, and it's pretty cool actually. I kind of like it.
Yeah,
and a plush.
It very much fits with the flower and garden theme. Honestly, Spike should be a lot more prevalent in flower and garden if you think.
No, he shouldn't. He looks like a knockoff Disney.
No,
I mean, a knockoff Mickey Mouse. Like he's Timu Mickey Mouse. Like it's too close, dude.
He's
a super old character though.
Yeah, but he's too close, man. I don't like it.
Yeah, I understand.
But he fits right in with the whole flower thing because that's his thing. Is he's a bee, and so he's all about flowers. So why not?
I have no problem with the bee. It's just whoever designed the bee to look like Mickey Mouse is where the problem was.
I get you. I mean, but he's from the 1940s. He's almost as old as Mickey himself.
Which makes it worse. Where's like the updated Spike?
Yeah. What were you saying, Trevor?
You might have to take that up with Walt because he probably had a hand in designing this.
Probably.
Yeah.
I like Spike. I think he's cool. And there's also they also have a scavenger hunt themed to Spike. So, and this is a shoulder plush too. It's one of those ones that you magnet to your shoulder, right? Those are pretty cool. I like those.
I like the idea of those, but they don't seem
practical.
They don't seem good in practice because it just feels like it's going to fall off. And I don't know. This
is what my wife and I have been talking about with Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. We've been wanting to do this with my daughter for a long time now, but at the same time, it's like if you're in Florida and it's 95 degrees out, I wouldn't want to walk around all day like that in that heat, right? Like she's already struggling in that heat. And then you throw on all the stuff that they do at Bibbidi Bobbidi, which is why we're doing it on the cruise ship instead. Because that way she can enjoy it all day.
I think we actually did. So they had, they used to do,
pirate one?
I think they still do it. No, it wasn't a pirate one. We actually did, we did a Prince's one for my son when they first doing it at Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. He was like 6, but we did it in Disneyland, which was way easier to deal with because we were also there in March, which meant that, he could be comfortable still. And like, he had the sword and shield and he was running around playing with it. If we were in Florida, that would have lasted for about 20 minutes. And then, he would have been done with it for the day. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's hard in Florida. I get that. It's hard to deal with that.
Like, I feel like on the ship that she'll be able to enjoy it for at least the day. And, whatever residual there is afterwards, like, because she won't be at 95 degree heat and 100% humidity,
And you can also just be indoors a lot more on the cruise. So,
exactly.
Makes sense.
Exactly. So what else we got here?
So I have to say, I'm going to call out the teacup and the Alice in Wonderland. The teacup and saucer. Like, I think my wife would really enjoy those because she's very much into Alice in Wonderland and loves all that kind of aesthetic. And I like that they've done just like a very proper teacup. It's nice that it's not a traditional coffee mug.
Yeah.
Like it looks how you would imagine Alice drinking tea out of, right? Like,
yeah, for sure. 100%. Yeah. The only other thing I'm seeing on here that's interesting, because they added a few more performers to Garden Rocks, but I don't know any of them, and it's not.
Yeah, no clue. No,
Yep.
don't know any of them.
Yeah, I'm not okay. I'm not
apparently, when I'm there, I could see.
I do know I actually do know Queenstrike.
Yeah, I was gonna be surprised.
That's the only one I know.
I don't know who Queenstrike is or any of these.
Yeah. So I mean, I am aware of them, but I mean, I'm trying to remember even one of their songs. It's a weird band. It feels like a weird band for Disney to hire, but whatever.
I mean, I'm going to be there when Maverick City Music is playing, so maybe I'll look them up out. And hopefully they have a Spotify or something.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. And then, Communicore Hall, they're going to have a new gallery there, which is, listen, they promised they were going to do this with Communicore Hall, where they were going to do galleries and they were going to do exhibits in Communicore Hall. And this really feels like kind of the first time that they're actually doing it, since it opened. It's really been not what they had intended yet. But I mean, listen, it takes a long time to plan these things. I get it. But it looks like they're just saying there's going to be a new gallery there. I think we saw a preview of it, if I remember correctly. I think that was for Flower Garden.
Yeah, I do like, though, one of the things that they added in here is that there's also going to be an opportunity to learn more about how Disney's horticulture team brings the topiaries to the festival. So I like that as well, that it's not like, the gallery stuff is nice, but also a little bit of like behind the scenes stuff on how they do this stuff for the festivals. And I mean, like you said, the topiaries are just crazy. And I love seeing how that stuff comes to be. So
I agree.
Yeah.
You would like the behind the scenes tour. You should do the behind the scenes tour, because if you're interested in that, the behind the scenes tour, they really do a lot of that kind of stuff. Although they don't really talk about the topiaries, but I would do like a behind the scenes, type of tour with the topiaries. I think that would be really interesting.
For sure. So, I'll try and convince my brother to do a behind the scenes tour. I don't know if he'll be
into the horticulture thing.
Yeah. I mean, this next trip's going to be kind of weird because it's like, we're not just focused on Disney stuff, but also like, in the past we never did behind the scenes because when my son was younger, we didn't want to, or I know we could have done it, but it's also like, it's hard to gauge if your kids are going to be interested in something like that. And so we were kind of waiting until he was at a point where either, if he's not going to come with us, whatever, that's his choice, or, he's old enough that he would actually like, be interested in it. I'm not saying he has to like love it, but at the very least, have some interest in it. Right.
I think even if you're not like interested in like I'm not a gardener by any means, right? Like
neither am I, but it's still fascinating to me.
It is. It's fascinating. And the second part of it too is that you're like, it's kind of like you're part of the ride, right? Like as you're doing the tour, you're in the areas that the boats are going through. And so it's like people are just looking at you as you go. Yeah. It's like you're part of the ride. It's kind of cool, So anyway. All right, one more thing here, some merch, because I know we like talking merch. There hasn't been a whole lot of merch stuff lately, but there's a Sorcerer Mickey merchandise line that's being rolled out at Disney World, and I feel like Sorcerer Mickey is. Do you think that's like the most popular version of Mickey, Sorcerer Mickey? Because I feel like they do a lot on that. Yeah,
I don't think
feel like it is. Yeah,
no.
Not for maybe for our generation.
Yeah.
I don't think for kids.
No, not for kids. Yeah, you're totally right. I think more for our generation. Yeah, I don't know.
The fleece hoodie is not bad.
I like the fleece hoodie actually. Yeah.
If you're gonna force me to like anything on this page, it's the fleece hoodie.
Yeah, the fleece hoodie is decent for sure.
Wait, is that the zip up one? Is that the
yes
one?
with the huge Mickey?
But that's the back of it. The back of it is a lot.
It is.
Hey,
but
that's the one below it, dude.
The one below it?
The one with the stars on it. Oh, okay.
The Sorcerer's Mickey hoodie. That one. Gotcha. That one's tough.
Well, they're both Sorcerer Mickey. It's just one is like one looks like a Spirit jersey, and the other one looks like Mickey or like
more normal. Yeah,
like the hat. It's the same. It's the same color palette and design as
That one looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
I agree. Actually, I think it's a pretty cool looking. I actually like both of these, except the zip up one. The back of it is a little much. It's very Spirit Jersey, like you said.
No, I don't like that one at all. I'm only rocking the other one.
I was initially looking at the front. I was like, if it was just the front, and like I would have been like, yeah, that's cool. But yeah, the Mickey across.
If it was
the
just the front and it was still $70, like
that's the other thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned this last time I was at Disney. I was on the monorail at one point, and I there was a guy there that had a sorcerer Mickey. He had the scene from Fantasia with Mickey with the water and everything, like on the ledge. Yeah, and he had that tattooed on his leg, and it was like his entire leg. And it was such a cool tattoo. I was like, and I had to say something to him about it. I was like, dude, that tattoo is awesome. Like, how long did that take? And he's like, really long time. But because it was really detailed, it was like, really bright colors and everything. I know there's like a whole like Disney tattoo, like, community out there, because there's a lot of people that have Disney tattoos. So, but yeah, I just thought it was really cool when I saw that one. But I mean, I also like the ears that are going on here too. The ears are kind of cool. And there's like a light up one too.
The Sorcerer Mickey hat with the lights on it is actually.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's pretty cool.
I've seen that hat before, but I don't think I've ever seen it with the light up functionality built into it.
Yeah. And then there's a magic band too. So they have a crossbody bag.
I will say that's. I mean, the design on it says the most magical place on earth and has the Mickey on it.
It's not my style. I wouldn't wear it.
Yeah, I wouldn't wear that particular one. I would wear a pack like that. But yeah, I just don't like that. I'll be honest. I think we've talked about this before. Is, as far as Mickey goes, like Mickey's not my favorite Disney character. Like, which I know is weird to say, but I mean,
blasphemy.
Yeah, it's just if I have a choice, like I'll look at Goofy or Donald before I'll look at Mickey. So it's kind of like, yeah. I mean, this stuff's still nice though. Like, don't get me wrong.
I like this mug actually. This mug and this cup are both very cool. The water bottle. I was talking about this, how my wife has 1 million water bottles. I might actually allow her to buy another one if she bought this one.
1 million plus one. Yeah. It's got a handle too, so you can you can forcefully swing it at people.
or when I want to,
I guess
when I want to purge all of the water bottles in my house, I can swing it and throw it out the door.
Yeah, you just give it a nice swing and it'll sail right through the window.
Exactly. All right, let's go ahead and do our ad. And actually, there's a little bit more. Well, it's not merch; it's merch and food. And then we're going to talk Disneyland for the second half of this episode. So we'll do the ad and then we'll talk Disneyland.
Okay. So our sponsor this week is DVC Rental Store. DVC Rental Store is a World of DVC company that offers magical vacations at incredible value. Save up to 60% off retail rates at Disney resorts. DVC Rental Store now includes deposits as low as 25% at the time of booking and a built-in cancellation policy for every reservation. As always, DVC Rental Store pays out the most to members looking to rent their points. Want to learn more? Go to dvcrentalstore.com/welcome home or call 1-855-DVC-RENT. That's 382-7368. And when you speak to them, be sure to let them know that Welcome Home sent you.
All right. So let's talk Captain America Brave New World. That movie just came out. I don't see movies anymore really because I just never have time to, but I will, I do stay up on the Marvel movies. So I don't know if I will see this anytime soon, but I will definitely see it eventually. But because it is, it's in theaters, Disney's obviously doing a lot of things in the parks around it. The thing that I'm already annoyed about.
I knew. This didn't take long.
No, it didn't take long for me to be annoyed.
Anybody want to guess on what Tom's annoyed about before we say it?
Yeah. Everyone out there is probably yelling drone show, and you'd be correct.
Yeah.
So they're doing a drone show at Disneyland Paris. I'm watching the video of it, Trevor. I don't know if you are, but it looks awesome.
Just flipping through it quickly. Yeah.
It looks fantastic. They've been doing these drone shows in the Marvel area of Disneyland Paris for a while now. And, it looks like they have a whole fireworks show around it too going on. And they're doing like projections on the different buildings. So that's pretty cool. I I just want the drone shows in the States. That's all I want. I just want the drone shows in the States. Just do that, please.
Yeah, it looks good. I'm not gonna lie. It's they're definitely giving you a reason to think about why you want to plan a trip to Paris.
Yeah. They just had, I don't know if you got to the end of the video, but I was at like marker 145 and they have the Captain America shield and then they have Red Hulk's hand grabbing it and it looks so good.
Did you see?
Amazing.
I mean, then they have Red Hulk fully after that, which again is very impressive.
Very cool. I also like this this magic shot too of you holding up Captain America's shield and the Red Hulk punching it.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool magic shot.
That's how magic shots should be done. Like it's, they give you a prop and not to say like the topiary Figment one is nice. And there, we've done other ones like the lantern from Tangled and stuff like that. Those ones all feel very like, you're just like kind of standing there. Like it's not, this one feels very like, hold up the shield and then they're going to put in, it's very much like an action shot, right?
Yeah, like you get to like make you get to act it out a little bit,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
like that.
They have some of those action shots, like Animal Kingdom. They have you do like the, pretend like you're a tiger or whatever, and you roar, and then they do stuff. There's some of them they have you do that, but this one's very cool.
Yeah, they need to do more like this one though.
I agree.
Yeah, the standing there holding something I feel has been played out enough.
Yeah, and now there's some food too. Which, oh boy,
red hot dog.
What is on this hot dog?
It does it even say? I don't know if it does.
It doesn't. It doesn't say. How does it not say it in the article? Because this hot dog looks like a hot mess. I mean, not saying I wouldn't eat it, but it looks like there's like ham on it or something, and like chips.
It's just called the Red Rage hot dog. Like, okay. I mean, that could be anything.
Yeah. I was laughing at the Liberty Lollipop because it's the thing that we always joke about where they just put Captain America's shield on a lollipop. And here we go. Marvel themed.
Now, is it, I guess, is it like chocolate? Is it like, I'm trying to figure out if this is like an ice cream pop or what it is. But
yeah, I
guess it looks like it could be ice cream, but yeah.
They don't really describe it, do they?
No, yeah, it's kind of weird. They're just like, oh yeah, here's these things. Like,
usually they like give you a whole breakdown of what it is. I think there's a thing further down that's
they spend lots of time talking about the alcoholic drinks.
Yeah, they do. That is true. I mean, it is Paris. But and they do like, well, they're more into like wine and stuff, right? So, but then they do have one food item that they actually talk about it's called the burnt bun. I don't know why they call it that, but okay.
Oh, you skip past the red, white, and blue cake.
I did skip past the red, white, and blue cake because it looks very unremarkable.
It looks like a marshmallow with a wafer.
They could have put
a shield wafer on it.
Any decorations on the side? Like literally, they just took a white cake and threw a Captain America shield on the top. Come on,
stars on it or
something. Yeah, do something. Now the burnt bun though is toasted brioche bun, spicy barbecue chicken, chipotle mayonnaise, smoked cheddar, jalapenos, and cucumber pickles. What other kind of pickles are? I mean,
yeah, I was gonna say aren't pickles by default cucumbers?
Yeah, that's a little odd. All right. Well,
I specify the cucumber pickles. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. So there's that. And then also on Disney Cruise Line, they're going to have Disney Cruise Line exclusive experience is getting to watch new film releases at sea, including the new movie. So you'll be able to watch that on any of the ships. And then also at Hong Kong Disneyland, here's Disneyland proper. Okay. So there's going to be a meet and greet, which actually that's a pretty decent face character right there. But it's not going to be that guy, right? Like you're going to put your best one on the your best look
on the photo
on the page. Yeah. But they're not all going to look that good. I mean, he looks pretty decently. Yeah.
He looks like Captain America for sure.
Yeah. The current Captain America. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's. Yeah.
What about this sipper that they're advertising at Disneyland?
Wait, is it the shield? Is the sipper?
Yes, the shield is a sipper. Watch the video for it.
How does that even work?
Well, you hold the back of the shield, and there's a straw there, and you're holding it like the shield, but it's a sipper.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
And then it also has a strap too, so you can wear it like a backpack, which I think is, as far as zippers go, that's pretty smart. Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, that you can wear it as a backpack, like, you know, Captain America wears the shield on his back. I mean, this is
and then you're not hauling around us like your zipper's not taking up your hands, and it's not, because a lot of the zippers are very like unwieldy, right? Like that's actually a very smart design for a zipper.
This is a very cool zipper, and I like the fact that you can hold it on your arm too. You can do the arm, you can do the backpack. This video is pretty cool too, where he throws it to him. Like, I mean, I just would also find it weird to actually drink out of this, but it's cool though. Don't get me wrong, I like it, and this is available at Disneyland, by the way, all over Disneyland and Disney California Adventure too. So.
Now, the funny thing is that, you know, if I was walking around Disneyland with that, nobody would bat an eye. Nobody would question me.
No.
But if I took that to work and I was just drinking my water out of it.
Like, I would love for you to do that. You should do that.
People would be like, what are you doing?
You'd be like, what?
I love it.
It's my new water bottle. Like, what's the problem?
You know? What's the issue? I don't see what the problem is.
No, I need to drink water. You know, I need to bring this to my table. To my desk. Desk. So ridiculous. I love it though. I love this kind of stuff. I love when they do things like this. And also just the fact that you can wear it on your back too is cool. So then they have a Liberty Punch, which is a litmus lemonade. I don't know what that means. Does that just mean it's different colors? Because it is different colors.
I would guess so, because that's usually what litmus is.
Yeah, but, layered with blue Hawaiian and topped with citrus meringue foam. I mean, it doesn't look bad. I would drink that.
Yeah. Looks very sciencey. I'm betting it plays into the movie.
Yeah, for sure. And then, you know, they have some spicy wings too, Red Rage wings. You know, you have to lean into the whole Red Hulk thing, right?
They say spicy chicken wings. I wonder how, like,
habanero,
those look like they're really spicy. Like,
they do. They're habanero though. So like, I mean, that's pretty spicy, but it's not like, you know, crazy spicy, right?
Yeah, I just don't know if I want to burn my mouth off that badly when I'm walking around the parks.
I think I'm a little skewed at this point because my wife and I recently they started putting Hot Ones, you know, the show Hot Ones on Hulu, and so my wife and I have been watching them recently, and so like, you know, just watching people suffer through hot sauce. You know, like I look at the habanero and I'm like, that's nothing. That's
I know that there's worse, and yes, I do watch Hot Ones as well, but
yes.
Yeah, no, I still don't think I want that kind of pain when I'm trying to enjoy the parks. Like,
yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
But this pepperoni pizza pocket, though,
I mean, that looks delicious. I don't know what it has to do with Captain America, but you know,
it's red. I don't know.
I mean, okay, yeah, but I mean, then they also have a red drink further down here too, a red velvet cold brew with cream cheese cold foam. So, okay.
All right, that's interesting choice.
Yeah, interesting.
I mean, I guess okay, red velvet with cream cheese. I don't know if I want to drink like that though. Like that's
yeah. All right, well let's move on to Star Wars. Let's move on to another thing that Disney bought. So there's a guide to Season of the Force at Disneyland Park, and so they're doing some different things at Galaxy's Edge, which is cool. First of all, they're doing a nightly projection show on the little mountains that they have over at on Batu, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that it's interesting that because I feel like I don't think they've done projections on there before, have they?
No, because previously at Hollywood Studios, all the projections were done on the theater.
On the theater,
around the theater. So yeah, and I know this isn't Disneyland, so it's the same thing. But there's never been a show. There's been Star Wars shows, but not a show directly in the Star Wars land.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a first for that.
Yeah, so they're doing the projection mapping stuff that they do. It seems like it's just a projection show. I don't see like fireworks or anything else. So there's that, but still that's cool. I mean, they'll be playing the music, they'll do the projections, you know.
I would imagine they can't, or no, maybe there is fireworks. I was going to say that where Batu sits in Disneyland, I don't know that there's space to do fireworks, but actually going further down.
Oh, there are fireworks.
Yeah. They're so this is a select nights thing though. So it's actually, there's two separate shows. There's the projection show, which is called Was it
Shadows of Memory?
Shadow Memory, a Skywalker saga, because we need to, check in with the Skywalkers.
Yeah, of course.
From time to time, make sure they're doing good. But this other one is Fire of the Rising Moons. So there's actually 2 different shows,
which is cool. Yeah. So and they're also doing we talked about this a couple weeks ago, or maybe last week. There is going to be a Luke Skywalker meet and greet. Although it's funny that they're not showing his face at all. They're just doing like he's just in the robe.
Are you going to get when Luke goes to Jabba's palace, like that Skywalker where he doesn't show his face for like
wouldn't that be funny? But wait, wouldn't that be funny if the meet and greet is literally just you taking a picture with him facing the other way? Like you don't ever see his face. He's just
it's just a robe.
Yeah, it's just a guy in a robe. Like you couldn't even tell that it's Luke Skywalker.
No interaction, just yeah.
Okay. So then there's gonna, like you said, there's gonna be this fireworks display on select nights with music and stuff like that. It's the typical thing, right? Which is cool. Don't get me wrong, but it's also cool. Apparently, there's a couple different. You can pretty much see it from anywhere in Batu, and then Space Mountain is gonna turn into Hyperspace Mountain, right? Again,
which is cool. I mean, Hyperspace Mountain is always cool. As much as I know I say I'm done with Star Wars stuff, Hyperspace Mountain is different. And so Disneyland Space Mountain is different from Disney World Space Mountain, which I know yes. But they I remember the first time I rode it with my son, like we were both very blown away by how it added to the ride. Like it totally fits with the ride, and I was like, hey, that can stay the way it is.
I get it. Yeah, exactly. And also to Star Tours, they announced this a while ago, but Star Tours is going to have some of the characters from the newer shows, right? Like The Mandalorian and Andor, and I never know how to pronounce that other one.
Ahsoka?
Is Ahsoka? Okay, Ahsoka. So they're going to have new missions and characters and locations on Star Tours, which is cool. And they actually are touting that you can experience up to it's 250 storyline variations on Star Tours now. Which, listen, I like that they do that because it makes every ride different, right? Like it's like you're going on a new ride every time,
So here's an interesting dilemma for me when it comes to Star Tours is that I have not been keeping up with some of the newer shows. Like I've not watched Ahsoka, and I stopped watching The Mandalorian partway through. I just lost interest in it. The weird thing is that, they're adding all this stuff to Star Tours, which I'm not saying they shouldn't, but it could actually get to a point where I could ride Star Tours and have no idea who, like it could be a bunch of people that I've never seen before. And I would be like, okay, is this even a Star Wars thing? Like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah, no,
right? It's funny just thinking about that. If you're not paying attention to it, you can actually hit a point where all the stuff that they're injecting into this ride could actually make the whole thing
irrelevant,
confusing. Confusing, or like it wouldn't even feel like. Yeah, am I on a Star Wars ride? Right.
But to be fair, I don't really know much about Avatar, and I'm fine on Flight of Passage, right? Like that's not
fair. Yeah.
Like it doesn't bother me. Like I don't feel like I necessarily need to know the story. And you still haven't done Rise of the Resistance yet, have you?
No, I haven't.
Oh my gosh, you should do that with your brother when you're there.
We are going to be talking about it this upcoming week. We're doing some planning for our trip, so that will be on the discussion because
you got to do it, man.
We didn't originally plan on going to Hollywood Studios, but we do have park hoppers, so it might.
Just hop on the Skyliner. Yeah, your brother's going to want to ride the Skyliner anyway, right? So
he doesn't know what the Skyliner. My brother is not
Disney guy. Yeah,
he's not into he is into Disney, but he's not into Disney parks the way that I am. So
yeah, I get that.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, you definitely need to do Rise of Resistance. It is a very cool ride. And I think you will enjoy it quite a bit.
I know.
So yeah, for sure. So the other thing they're doing is they're revamping now a new storyline for Savi's workshop where you do the lightsabers, which they've basically had the same thing now since it opened, right? So now they're doing a different storyline because it is a whole show when you do it, right? It's not just like, you go and build a lightsaber. It's like a whole thing.
It's a ceremony, and yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so now they have a whole new thing that they're going to be doing, which is they're calling it Reclaimed and Reforged, and it's for a limited time beginning on, of course, on May the 4th. So that's happening. And then what else we got here? We got some food, it looks like, right?
There's food there. So actually, one interesting thing to bring up was I noticed that there's these these ear headbands.
Oh yeah,
but it's a customizable, or there's all these
looks like you can Velcro different pieces on it, right?
Yeah, it's a create your own headband, so you can create like Mickey ears, but they've got different characters, not just Star Wars, but also I think they're implying that like you can get like Mad Hatter and stuff like that. Like there's
I've seen
because but that's kind of an interesting thing because it does actually, like, people love the ear headbands, but it opens it up to, one, it's customizable, and two, instead of having to buy new headbands, you just buy the attachments for it, and you can, have one headband with like 20 different combinations or whatever. So that's kind of interesting. The other thing that's kind of disturbing to me is
I know where you're going. I know.
Do you know which shirt can you guess which shirt I'm looking at right now?
So the Boba Fett one? Is it the Boba Fett one?
No, actually, I'm looking at the
daddy. Okay, the daddy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Sorry.
So there's a Darth Vader shirt at Star Traders that it shows Vader on the front, and it's very cool. Like
it looks like it's graffiti almost.
Yeah, graffiti, like neon, whatever. But then underneath it has "Daddy" written on it, which
weird.
I don't know.
You don't know how you feel about it. What about that fanny pack the girl's wearing next to him? That's a loud fanny pack.
See, I would wear that fanny pack before I'd wear the Sorcerer Mickey one.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
That one's got some very retro look to it,
Yeah, I don't mind the neon colors. I don't, like as long as there's not too many of them. But that one seems okay. Yeah, they're kind of doing that like neon graffiti theme to it. Yeah, just the daddy thing is like why does it have to say daddy? But you're talking about the Boba Fett.
I don't have a problem with that one. I thought actually you were going to talk about the fact that they have a Darth Vader helmet sipper, which to me is you're drinking out of someone's head. But
yeah, I mean, but yeah, they've also had the
it's not
stormtrooper helmets and stuff. So yeah,
that's not a new thing. They've had this. It's just like it's funny to me. That's all.
Yeah,
but all right. So this is what they're doing.
Lots of interesting, weird choices. I think, or there's some good stuff, but also it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with some of these
of the choices.
Yeah.
I also I'm a little disappointed in the Wookiee cookie they have, because the Wookiee cookie that I had one time was a sandwich cookie, and that was awesome. This does not look like a sandwich cookie.
It's just like a sprinkle cookie, it looks like.
Yeah, it's kind of a boring thing, but yeah. Anyway, so that's what they're doing for Star Wars over at Disneyland. At Disney World, nothing. So what was that's right. I'm still waiting for them to do the Life Day thing, like one of these
days.
Why
have we not had like Life Day in the park? Like,
I don't know.
They're totally missing the boat on that. They
really are. Like, just do you don't even need to do it. Like, you just do one day during the season of the Force thing, and just do a Life Day. I mean,
would it make sense to do it during season of the Force, or would it make more sense to do it closer to Christmas?
Holidays.
Yeah, Life Day was supposed to be in
Wookiee Christmas, right?
Yeah, an analog to Christmas, right? So
I mean, just do it, right? Like, just do it one day. It would be huge, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, it would be like Dapper Days, right? Like, I feel like it would be one of those, like, it could just be a thing that like, you don't even have to do it the same day every year. Like, just pick a day and do it, right?
According to the internet, by the way, Life Day is November 17th. So, which I did not know, but it's actually
November. I didn't realize it was an actual day.
I did not know this either. But apparently it is. Yeah. And by the way, if you want to know the whole Life Day thing, if you want to watch the Star Wars, what was it, holiday special or whatever it was, the whole thing is on YouTube. You can watch the whole thing on YouTube if you really want to suffer through that. So
yeah, I think the most I've made it is 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's not an easy watch. So, all right, so let's make this our last topic, Trevor, and we'll save food time for next week. And talk about some California Adventure Food and Wine Festival. But I'd love to end here on Disneyland's 70th anniversary. By the way, for those of you that are like a nerd like me, I really love consuming any of the behind the scenes, the history stuff around Disney. Like that's one of the things that appeals to me so much about Disney is just the history of it and, the background and how things come together. And so, I love things like Imagineering Story. And I remember when I was at Disney last year, it was May, it was like a little bit in the beginning of May. And there was a show coming on the History Channel called How Disney Built America. And it wasn't just because I was at Disney. It was just something that was on History Channel. And I got too tired to, I knew we were waking up early the next day. I got too tired to watch it. Well, now that series has popped up on Hulu, which, I know for you is not Hulu. You don't have Hulu, but I'm sure it's part
Disney
of
Plus. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you have it on Disney Plus, but it's called How Disney Built America. And it's like a series about just, how Disney, just the history of the Walt Disney Company, right? And I'm only a couple episodes in, and I really haven't learned too much new stuff, but it's very interesting and very well done. Because at this point I've consumed so much of it. It's
to be fair, you're on like the far end of that bell curve of average Disney knowledge, right?
But I would highly recommend it if you like that kind of thing. If like you liked Imagineering Story, this is a great show to watch because it's just all about the history of the Disney company. Of course, they skip a bunch of stuff, right? They don't talk about when all the workers went on strike and Walt Disney went a little nutty. But they don't talk about that. But they do, talk about how, about like the lead up to Snow White and like the the technology that had to happen and the things that he had to come up with and also, and right now I'm on the part, the Disneyland part, right? So, but yeah, I highly recommend if you're into that kind of thing, check it out. Because, what we're going to talk about right now is the 70th anniversary of Disneyland. And that's kind of what made me think of it. And they're doing some, really interesting stuff for the 70th anniversary of Disneyland, Trevor. So,
yes.
Now, so they're good. You want
to? I guess the first thing that stands out to me is that they are doing a tribute to the Sherman Brothers.
Yes.
Which, if you don't know who they are, they're responsible for the soundtrack to Mary Poppins, as well as a whole bunch of other stuff. But that's kind of the big one. And Small World is their baby as well. So that.
Yeah, basically every song in the parks was done by them.
Yeah.
Most
songs,
yeah.
Like Pirates was not done by them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they have a stake in a lot of the music in the parks and just Disney music for a long time, and so they're going to be running a short video called "The Last Verse" as part of this. Which I don't know if you've watched this, Tom. I actually watched this.
I have not
last
yet.
week. Okay, well, so I watched it and then I sent it to my wife and I said, "You're going to cry when you watch this," and she did. So just fair warning for anyone that watches it. It is a tearjerker as Disney likes to do with these things, but it does actually it does finish with there is another verse to Small World that that the Sherman Brothers wrote that never was put into the ride itself. Starting on July 17th, that final verse is going to be added into It's a Small World. So,
which is cool.
Yeah.
It's very cool they're doing that.
And I need to also call this out. The whole reason I even found this was I was just browsing Disney News and I saw a clickbait article that was I actually saw it on one of the subreddits that somebody posted a clickbait article that said, Disney's changing the music to Small World.
Oh, come on.
And yeah, and it's like, I'm like, what? That's not like, whatever. And then I read into it, was like, no, they're not changing it. They're actually finishing the music. Like they're adding the final verse to the song. It's like, oh, okay. That's, but people love to do the clickbait thing, which I absolutely hate. But the good thing that came out of it was I found out about this and the fact that it is actually coming to the ride in Disneyland. I don't know if they're going to be adding it in Disney World. I would hope that they do. But the focus right now, obviously being on the 70th, is in Disneyland. They're going to have the last verse of the song in there. Yeah. So that's the big one, and then, or I think that's the big one. But then also, they're going to add some new experiences to the Main Street Opera House, which I think, to your point about the behind the scenes stuff, this is where they're going to have a lot of history on like the audio animatronics and stuff, or like how all this stuff came to be within Disneyland, right?
Yeah. Well, and then, so there's a 3.5 minute video called The Last Verse, which is going to be at the Main Street Cinema. And then there's at the Main Street Opera House, like you said, there's a gallery experience featuring the evolution of Walt Disney's dream of Disneyland, which is very cool. It really, I love this kind of stuff. And this is why I really do want to go to Disneyland, just, because it is the original, and it's there's so much cool history and stuff there. But there's a point where you're going to get to like you said, the history of the audio animatronic technology, and just kind of some of the history behind that. They're also going to they're collaborating with the Walt Disney Family Museum too to bring in artifacts too. So there's some really kind of cool stuff there. There's items from his private apartment over the fire station on Main Street. Which is cool that they have that.
I guess it makes sense. I didn't realize that they had moved some of the stuff out of his apartment.
I guess they moved it to the Disney Museum. Yeah, they moved it to the Family Museum, which makes sense. I mean, like that was a big part of Disneyland. And of course, he used to stay there. I mean, he used to literally like live in Disneyland sometimes, right? Like it's just crazy. But then, the thing, and we talked about this was announced at D23, and, I would like to see this, but, I'll have to, watch a video because I'm not going to get out there to see it. But they're going to have Walt Disney: A Magical Life, which is going to be, again, on July 17th. And this is going to be the Walt Disney animatronic show, right?
Yes.
So it's going to continue playing. It says it will play in rotation with great moments with Mr. Lincoln. So I guess sometimes it's going to be Lincoln and sometimes it's going to be Walt.
Yeah, I guess you'll have to figure out which show it is you're going to see. So I'm guessing would it be like, I wonder if it's going to be like rotation throughout the day, or if it's like only certain days or certain times.
Certain days of the week. I mean, obviously they can swap them out pretty easily, I guess. And
actually, it says after its initial run, it'll play in rotation. So I wonder, okay.
So it'll be there. It'll be just Walt Disney for a period of time, and then we'll start.
This is smart. What they're doing is that they're having two shows available, so that when they need to do maintenance on the animatronics, they can swap out. Run one show, work on the other show, and then swap it back, and then that gives them a cycle to keep both shows up and running, so that you don't get to that place where the animatronics are like twitching and just falling over, right?
Well, and especially because it's of Walt Disney, right? Like people are very sensitive about that, and I know we talked about this before on the show that some of his family members are all about it, and there's a couple that are not feeling it. So I will say I appreciate the fact that in this day and age of being able to replicate voices with AI, that they're not going that route, that they're using remastered footage and audio recording. So it's all the audio you're going to hear is his actual voice and not AI.
Not a bot generated version of him, which I would not agree with that either. I'll be honest. There are use cases for AI, but I don't think this is one of them.
Well, and I know that initially when it was announced, a couple of the family members had an issue because they thought that Disney was going to use AI, and I think I seem to remember one of them say, like a quote from one of them saying, "Well, they can make them say whatever they want, and that might not be something that Walt would have said," which I get. I think to myself of like, would I want one of my family members to be an animatronic and to have a large corporation controlling what it says? Probably not, but it's a little bit different because it's Disney, and it was, Walt Disney himself is, more of he was that company, right? I mean, and still kind of is. So it's different.
But to be fair, it is all like, it kind of goes back to the whole, this comes up every time, stuff changes in the park where people go, Walt would never have approved of that, right? It's putting that same thing as like putting words in somebody else's mouth. Like that's literally what it would be happening there. Is that if somebody really wanted to do that, they could take an AI generated version of Walt and they could make it say whatever and then claim it as this is officially what Walt said years ago. Which that's the whole danger of it is, and especially with the fact that people don't check sources, and it's hard to check sometimes if things are actually a deep fake or not. Yeah, that I can see where Disney wants to be very careful about not tarnishing that image of him, because it's a slippery slope, right? Like once you start going down that road, you can't undo that. And but like I said, though, there is use cases for AI in the parks, even like, for some interaction stuff and even for like doing like animated character meets and stuff like that, that's fine. But I think, for the purpose of, presenting, Walt Disney and like history of Disney, they should never be considering having an AI construct of Walt anywhere.
I don't think his family would allow it even. I mean, I'm sure they could cause a big stink and prevent that from happening. So,
but the funny thing is that it goes into that whole realm of, Disney would never approve of this. And it's like, actually, you people don't realize what Disney actually said. Like, and as far as, changing stuff goes, like that was actually first and foremost for him, was that, I think he would be thrilled to know that there is an animatronic of him, because it is change. It is, how the park keeps evolving. And I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah. And I mean, a couple of the family members have said that, like that, cause if you read anything about him, I've read a biography or two of Walt Disney, and, he was not, besides being, an animator and a filmmaker and the, park mogul, he was also a futurist. Epcot was like a supposed to be a big view into the future, and Tomorrowland was always, what the future is going to be, right? And
innovation and evolution were a big part of who he was.
Exactly, and I think that's that's why this is cool, and why he probably would have put a rubber stamp on that one. Like he was, oh yeah, that's cool, making an animatronic of me. I always it always is funny to me when people complain about things changing, because they even have the famous quote right on here is, Disneyland will never be completed. It will continue to grow as long as there's imagination left in the world. Everybody knows that quote. But at the same time, people get mad when they change things. And it's like, literally Walt Disney himself said this thing was always going to change. Things were going to close, new things were going to open as technology got better. It's
and this Disney is not the Disney that you remember.
Yeah.
Like, the Disneyland I grew up with is not the Disneyland that's there today.
Yeah, exactly. But that's okay. What?
Bring back the people mover.
Oh God, it's never gonna happen, Trevor. It's
no.
It's gonna. It'll happen as soon as you get access to the membership Magic Plus program.
Oh, come on.
So no.
if they did the people mover, but it was only, oh man,
people would be so excited.
That would be just.
I just don't think it's ever gonna. Listen, I want it to happen, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
I mean, yeah.
All right, we can talk about that forever. Yeah. Let's wrap this up.
Skyliner would be a thing too, but we should stop there, because I need to go do, after reading all this and talking about this. I do need to go. My wife and I have been talking about our trip to Disneyland later this year, and we were actually debating about going during the 70th. We were like, do we really want to go during like these kinds of events? But after reading this, I think I do.
Yeah, totally.
So,
yeah. I think you should, man. I would go if I could. Like, and we have the one vacation this year. I don't know if we're going to do a second one or not. So, but if it was closer, I would 100% go to this, because I would love to see all the history here, and also just see the animatronic, because that whatever animatronic they're using, it's going to be whatever the best,
the newest one.
Yeah. The newer ones, as everybody knows here, are stunning, in how real they are. So, so we're gonna. I'm assuming I'll see videos of this, and I will definitely be interested in it. So, Yeah, but let's wrap up. We'll talk about food next week. Yeah. We'll save that little one for next week. We'll do some food time.
We might even if there's new stuff that comes up, we may even have a longer food time.
There you go. No food time this week though.
Yeah, that's okay. It doesn't have to be every week. We never said we were doing food time every week.
That's true. Yeah, there's not always food to talk about, so
it's true. So yeah, I guess if you guys have anything you want us to talk about, or you have questions for the show, or just in general want to reach out to us, you can always find us at welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com. We love hearing from you guys and hearing what you think about the show. And similarly, we are also available on social media. You can find us on Facebook as Welcome Home Podcast, YouTube as Welcome Home Podcast, and Instagram as Welcome Home Pics. Make sure on Facebook that you check out our group, Welcome Home Disney Waitlist, where we talk about all kinds of things from the show and just general Disney stuff and good fun conversation, because I think we need a place to just talk about Disney.
Yeah.
So yeah, come join our group. I will say there was I want to shout this out. Sorry, I need to go into the group quickly because first of all, I need to comment on it. So Jeremy didn't like that I was talking about selling rocks at the Canada Pavilion.
Why?
And so he has a very impressive geode collection.
Oh, okay.
Or geodes and minerals and stuff like that, which the stuff he has is not what I was talking about that gets sold in these places in like Banff National Park and whatnot. Like it's literally like just little polished rocks that they're selling, which I like. It's different, I think. But I get what you're saying, Jerry. I'm not trying to offend you. But the other one that I liked, I would love to actually almost do this as a wait list, was so Ali brought up, we talked about obscure movies that you may have on DVD or VHS that aren't on streaming.
Oh yeah.
I think, we kind of touched on that. That's a very interesting topic, I think. Like things that haven't necessarily made it to Disney streaming yet, or just streaming in general. I like that conversation. That's the kind of stuff you guys can find in the group. So
it's funny you bring that up, Trevor, because my wife and I were chatting before the show today, and my wife did I forget what she actually did, but she reminded me of the show, and I don't know if you know the show or not, but it's from 1990, Bobby's World.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bobby's World. I know Bobby's World. It was Howie Mandel.
Howie Mandel.
Howie Mandel's like, he is, as much as nobody may want to admit it, he is a Canadian icon. He's polarizing. Not everybody likes him, but I enjoy Howie Mandel, and I used to watch.
Yeah. So I was talking, my wife and I started talking about Bobby's World, and I was like, I wonder if Bobby's World is on streaming somewhere. And I look it up, and sure enough, it's on Prime. It's available as part of Prime, Amazon Prime.
Okay.
The whole series is there. And I was like, get the heck out of here. So I played the first episode, and my daughter's watching it. She's watching it. And then she's like, this show's weird.
Yep.
I was like, yeah, it is weird, but this is what we
That's
watched.
90s. That's what we had. Yeah.
So early 90s. I mean, come on. It was 1990 when that show came out. And I was just so pumped that it was there. I was like, oh man, Bobby's World. I can't believe it's out there still. Like,
so, like I said, there is, I think it would be like an interesting wait list. And the hard part is, we mainly talk about Disney, but there is lots of like, retro, like kids cartoons and stuff. I actually found there's YouTube channels out there that have like Saturday morning cartoons, and there's shows that I've never even knew existed as a kid's cartoon show. Like it's crazy how much stuff there is out there that it's not even like I think these things are on YouTube because people have uploaded them because they're not on streaming service.
And nobody cares about the rights at this point, so they don't get it taken down. So,
although I mean, I feel like somebody cares about the RoboCop kids animated show, but
it was a RoboCop kids animated show.
Yes.
How?
Yeah.
I mean, RoboCop is an extraordinarily violent movie. How do you make a kids show?
Exactly my point. There's a whole thing around this, but I'm so glad that we see topics like that in the group. So, if and again, I know it's not Disney related and we're mainly a Disney podcast, but we will, we do like to talk about things adjacent to Disney as well, which I feel, cartoons and stuff are definitely adjacent to Disney. So
early, like the early to mid 90s was like cartoon, like,
oh, it was a crazy time for cartoons. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was peak cartoons. I mean, you had like, that was when DuckTales was going on at that point, right? And
there's the Disney Afternoon stuff, but then outside of that, there's a whole new world, and I did that on purpose, of shows that you didn't even know existed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but anyway, that's for another conversation. We should continue on with the wrap up.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I did want to bring those things up that great. Love seeing that stuff in the group. Love seeing those conversations, and wanted to shout that out. So keep it coming. And continuing on, if you guys want to help support the show, you can go to store.welcomehomepodcast.com. You can check out our different merch there, which it all goes to just helping us keep the show running, because we don't have a ton of overhead, but there is still stuff we got to pay for to keep the show running. So, if you want to get a mug or get, a shirt, also I'll keep plugging this is, if you guys are, traveling to the parks, send us pics of, the Welcome Home podcast shirt in the parks. We love seeing you guys with the merch in the parks in general. Yeah. So, please send those, put those in the Facebook group if you are traveling. And also similarly, you can support us on Patreon. Same kind of stuff is available on Patreon, but it is an exclusive logo you can only find for different levels of Patreon support. And all of our Patreon supporters, I forgot to mention, it is patreon.com/welcomehomepod. Yeah. All of our Patreon supporters get access to the Discord server, which is yet another place that we talk about, the same kind of stuff that we talk about in the Facebook group, but it's just another forum for great Disney conversation. And last but not least, if you are listening on iTunes or Spotify or anywhere you can leave us a review, leave us that 5-star review. We're fighting the algorithm bots to get ourselves out there, and your 5 stars gives us a little bit more juice to defeat the algorithm. I guess I don't know
the evil algorithms.
I've got like Saturday morning cartoon like. Like the start of every cartoon, it was like the evil algorithm is going to take over the world and the Autobots have to stop. Like Welcome Home Podcast has to stop them. No, leave us a 5-star review so that we can continue, just showing up in the algorithm. And also, write us a review on iTunes. We love hearing what you guys think about the show. And I think that was the longest wrap up we've done in a while.
Well, because we got talking about Bobby's World and
we did a rabbit hole in the middle of the wrap up, which I don't think has happened in quite some time.
But, let's go watch Bobby's World.
There you go.
Also, don't forget to subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast so you can be reminded every time we release a new episode. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube Music, just about any podcast app that's out there. You can find us. And of course, just a reminder to our listeners, Welcome Home Podcast is for entertainment only, and we are not employed by the Walt Disney Company. As such, all opinions we express on the show are our own. So please contact a DVC cast member or just regular cast member for anything we talked about today on today's episode. Huge thank you to DVC Rental Store for sponsoring this episode, and of course, World of DVC for continuing to be our partners. I was going to say partners in crime, but that sounds bad. But crime fighting
things.
Yeah. Partners in crime fighting. Crime fighting. There you go. Join us next time for more. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Anyway, thank you. Join us next time for more Disney Parks discussion. Of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Do a huddle when we hit its hair. How she can cuddle is no man's affair. I looked around from pole to pole, found her in a sugar bowl. Look out, here